Hey everybody, it's Jeff.
Hi, good.
Here with Guude, and we're actually going to be talking to you guys today. Our thoughts on Utopia and Survivor.
Where do we start? Which one do we want to start with?
You know what? I say we start with Utopia because Survivor just started.
Right.
So Utopia, we didn't get to from the beginning. And so what is Utopia in your opinion? I mean, what is the show about?
Yeah, because there's another show called Utopia in another country that's not the same show at all. It's like just a show,
Well,
like a fictional show, right?
Well, I thought the Utopia started in January in the Netherlands originally, but I thought it was the same show. I never watched it. I have no idea.
No, there's some show that I've seen called Utopia that is not. Now, if I Google it, I'm probably just going to get the crap show that we got here now.
American TV.
Yeah, started in 2013. Utopia will follow a group of people who find themselves in possession of a manuscript of a cult graphic novel.
Oh.
It started in 2013. It's a drama mystery TV series.
Yeah, that's not anything like what this Utopia is. So
no. So there's already that confusion. Now they announced Utopia, the show the reality TV show of whatever its purpose is. They announced it. It seems like 2 years ago or something. It seems like a really long time to me that they were hyping this up. Did you have the same experience?
I had heard about it a while ago, but I really didn't get the hype around it until the last couple months because it was about to start. And but I had heard about it before, and when the hype started, I was getting excited. I thought the premise, I was like, you know what, Fox's version of this reality TV show, it's probably something they're trying to take on with CBS and Survivor because it's like something else to go for. And I'm like, this is going to be really good. Like, it sounds like a cool concept.
Like, even the logo, it looked like they were under a dome.
Right. And yeah.
So I
imagined the logo up on the screen. It does. It's a dome. It's like Biodome is what I thought.
That's how I imagined it, like Biodome kind of thing, where I thought it was like this nitty gritty. Like, there was a show I used to watch called The Colony or something like that.
That's what a lot of people have said this is most similar to, from what they understand.
It didn't run that long at all, but it was actually pretty good. But there was some really dumb stuff in it too. There was always a group of outsiders that were bandits that are obviously just cast members. But it would get violent. Like, they would come in and start macing them and punching them, and it wasn't a joke. Like, we're here for your food, give us your food, and they were like, no, and they were like, mace. And it's like.
Yeah,
they're taking your food.
That quite hasn't happened in this one, because this one's the premise is 15 people that now we understand live on a farm in California.
It's in California.
I think it's in California, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's what it is, right? It's just 15 people living together on a farm.
But the way that they pitch this whole idea to you is it's going to be these 15 people, and they're from all walks of life, and they're going to create their own vision of what Utopia is. No rules, no laws, no government, unless they decide they want those things. And all that shit's out the window already.
It was out the window the first episode. That's why I was so confused. I didn't understand anything. If I recall, in the first episode, or maybe it was the second, I don't know, the season premiere was, 4 hours long worth of a 2-hour special, and then a 1-hour show after that, and then a 1-hour show the next day. It was all the premiere. So it was 4 hours worth of it that... At one point, they tried to vote on something, and what's his name? Aaron, he's a chef that's on there. He's the only one that was saying something about the fact of, hey guys, we can't be voting on something. We don't have a government established.
Right.
How is
we
this
haven't established any of that? Why are we a democracy just by default?
Right.
Yeah.
And so I mean, the concept is they're supposed to make their own government, make their own utopia. They have $5,000 in seed money, and then they have to also make money, which initially confused me because I'm like, but they're on this plantation area, all isolated from the world. But oh no, it turns out you can interact with the outside world.
Right, and the thing that's so silly about that to me, this whole thing, there's so many flaws in this whole thing. So, well, I won't even get into the stupid crap they threw in at the end of the last episode, but or I won't yet. But so they're expected to make money through something that we would normally For instance, let's just say I'm just Jason, I'm not Guude, and I need to make money. I couldn't say, come to my house and look at me and give me $40.
Right.
That's what these people are doing. They're like, we're TV stars.
Yeah.
Come to our house.
Come for the JSano experience. $20 entry fee to my door.
Yeah, that's all they're doing. It is basically prostitution. In fact, they even last episode the guy, God, what's his name? Hold on. Josh, the guy that can't find anyone, that's been accused of being racist because he hoped that maybe the next woman that came in only liked white guys because he was the only single white guy.
Yeah, that was the dumbest. Like, people get mad at him for being racist off of that was dumb. He did not say anything racist. He was literally saying they're going to go after him because he's better looking than I am, so I hope she only likes white guys because that's me. Like, I'm the only one.
Exactly. It'd be the same as, like, if there was just two white guys and one was red-haired and one was blonde. He was like, I hope they like blondes because I'm
exactly.
Yeah, I don't even remember. Oh, yeah. So anyways, he can't get laid. Everyone else is getting laid. So the girls that are paying $40 to come and have the Josh experience are basically saying, I'll sleep with you. So is that prostitution at this point?
I mean, can there really be prostitution in Utopia? Do they have laws? Do they have government?
They're obviously being governed by the United States of America, right? I mean, can they kill each other? No.
I don't know. What does their contract stipulate? I was so curious after the first show to see that contract because I'm like, if you're putting these people out here and telling them there's no laws, they're really governed by the U.S., I'm still assuming, right? Which therefore automatically makes it a democracy and a way, though they're going to let them govern them. Like, can they put people in jail, or is that going to be considered like kidnapping? If they took somebody and were like, oh, you know what, you did something wrong, and what our society says now, because the laws we made up, you get to go in solitary confinement for the next, like, 2 months. I mean, is that allowed?
That's the thing that's so bizarre to me, because they're just to bring it all into perspective, they're supposedly doing this own thing. The producers are stepping back and letting these people live their own life, but then last episode they said, you have to vote someone out.
Yeah, so I didn't understand this when the show first came out. After the very first episode, I did some research on the show because I was like, I don't understand where this is going. Like, I thought it was going to be this great concept, and now I'm just confused at what's happening. And I read and found out that they said that there was supposed to be, so not only are they going to vote somebody out, but America somehow helps pick the next Utopia contestant that goes and takes their place. I still don't know how they're doing that. But there's partially America's involved with it as well. And I don't know, do you even think it's real? Do you think it's actually happening? Do you think the live feeds are live feeds? Because you can watch the live feed online, supposedly.
Really?
Yeah. It's like $4.99 a month, and you can get unlimited access to the live feeds. And apparently it's only like 6 or 7 days in the past that they were just rubbing these episodes out twice a week in the fastest production.
Well, they have to be, right? Because, like, here's the other thing I don't understand. These people that are coming in near the locals or whatever that are coming in seem like they've been watching the live feed or whatever, right, because they know what happened yesterday and that type of stuff.
And the one guy that went for the yoga, he said the only reason he knew about it is he was watching the live feed and saw that the yoga was there. So like...
I guess the question is, are they like a focus group? Is it like the local town, like they're getting the live feed for free and they need him to come in and give them money?
Yeah, you know what? I bet you that local area is getting the feed for free. They would have to be, right?
Right.
That makes sense. Now,
but I wouldn't be surprised if some of these people are paid actors. Some of it just seems way too unbelievable not to be paid actors.
I completely agree. I mean, it's the personalities that they put together. If they truly got random people that they decided to like interview and then cast, and they're like, these people would all be perfect against each other and make for a great TV show. If that's really how it went down and it was pure coincidence of these random people, they did a brilliant job. But there is absolutely no way that's how it went. Like,
I've never met a man like Red. You know, Red, the Kentucky guy, right, 42, no teeth. That man doesn't exist. There's no way that someone as open-minded and as redneck as him can exist at the same time. Does that mean, you know what I'm saying by that?
I completely know what you're saying. Because he's not a dumb guy either. He just acts like a dumb hillbilly and does the most ridiculous things, like continuously trying to get a revolution against like the rest of everybody.
Not a state of freedom. Like,
yeah, Utopia state of freedom, baby. He's so very beginning of this show. The very first scene, they put him in this barn at a table. They all had their boxes of stuff. And they said, your first task to work together is to pick out what you want that fits in this big box in the middle. That's the only thing you can take with you to Utopia. I mean, you remember that, right? Like Dave going, ex-con going crazy because he wants all his stuff.
The thing that was so funny about Dave is he wasn't mad at the other contestants. He was mad at the producers. Like, if you watch that, he's not even talking. He's not looking at the people in the room, and he's not talking to those people in the room. He's talking to the cameras, and he's pissed.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, watch it back. He's not yelling at them because he kept saying, I was promised, I spent 6 months to get my shit together, and I was promised I'd be bringing my shit in. None of these people would talk to him before then. There was no way he was talking to any of them. None of that, the context of the shit he was saying would not have made sense if he was talking to other contestants.
Yeah, I guess.
He only could have been talking to the producers.
So, out of curiosity then, that first day, what were they watching? Because it tried to make it look like this hologram that they were
they were looking at a fucking little piece of light in the middle of the table or something, right?
And then they're just all staring there for like 20 minutes while that thing went.
Yeah.
And then at the end of all that, they didn't go anywhere. The bar just opened and that was Utopia. So did they have all their stuff? What happened to their boxes?
Right. What? Yeah, exactly. Like they put everything in this bigger box. It's like, well, the other stuff's over there.
The other stuff's still there in the corner. Like, don't worry about that stuff. Like, and then, and then, so now they're stuck. The one guy walked out. Dave ended up walking off of the place, and he's done. He quits the show. The next episode, Red goes hunting outside.
Right, he's left
city.
He's left Utopia, and he's hunting. Like, is there like a hunting range? Like, they didn't do that at all.
That's why I don't get the rules of this show anymore. Like, they interact with the outside world. They buy whatever they want. They can sell whatever they want. They can leave and come back, apparently, unless you're Dave, who you're not allowed.
No, they voted. They don't ever want to see his ass again.
I don't blame him. If he's a real person, he was bringing up that much controversy. I wouldn't want him living in my Utopia either.
He was a little bit crazy.
A little bit crazy. And then the whole premise of the show is they're living here hopefully for a year and not getting paid, not making any money. Like, these people have to be getting paid a salary to be there, right?
Right, yeah. They have to be, yeah. I don't think there's any question. Like, I think with all these realities, I even think, like, with Survivor, which I guess we'll talk about later, like, you know, if you win $1 million, but if you make it 10 episodes, you get, like, $100 grand. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you get paid per episode regardless.
Do you think it works that way?
I do. I'm convinced that you get paid per episode. That's why you want to last as long as you can, even if it's just 3 more days. That's another paycheck.
That is true. A lot of people do want to just last 3 more days just to say they've lasted 3 more days, and I guess that would be... Yeah,
you definitely get paid. I would put any amount of money. I feel like I've even read that in like a wiki or something, but I'm not 100% certain if I've just decided on my own. But I'm convinced that you're getting paid per episode. I think the same is true with something like Utopia.
So you know with Utopia that they were supposed to start with 15 people, but somebody got kicked out before they even started?
Right, because she was like, she broke the confidentiality agreement or something.
She like snuck in a cell phone to the hotel where they were preparing like to go to Utopia and was like doing all this research on all the contestants, which, I mean, if you're going to go to a reality TV show and you're that close to getting in, what did she think she was going to gain by learning about people?
Right. I mean, I guess you could know how to play them, but yeah.
It's so then they end up replacing, wait, how did they do this? They had 2 people come in that they got to choose which one they wanted to keep.
And they kept them both, didn't they?
No, they got rid of, what's her name? They kept Kristen because she had the business sense.
I guess I didn't care so much that I thought they just kept them both, because I know Rob left because his hand was broke.
Yeah,
right?
but
Rob?
not Rob. Jonathan.
Yeah,
Jonathan is a pastor. Yeah, left because his hand broke, which they just replaced. They were randomly like, "Oh, you're out. Here's a new guy. This is the only dude."
And nothing. It's like they just are making it up as they go.
I'm pretty sure they might be making it up as they go.
Because, like, you know, like Dave leaves and they don't replace him. Jonathan leaves and here's a plumber.
No, they did end up replacing him. But it was like 2 episodes later.
Who replaced Dave?
Chris? Wait, no. What's his name? The guy who's with Hex.
Oh,
the chick from Detroit.
Oh, right. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, he's actually lives nearby me. Well, he doesn't right now, but yeah.
Utopia's right by you. Why don't you go to the Utopia experience? Pay them $40. Yeah, because
one thing I never understand in these type of situations is why everyone cannot go more than 30 seconds without sex. Why is it the moment they're in a reality situation like this, everyone's like, all right, who am I gonna fuck? I gotta fuck somebody right now.
They maybe they specifically got people that they knew had high sex drives to drive the show forward.
Maybe. But it happens in Survivor too. Like it happens in, it seems like in Big Brother, like all these reality shows, they instantly, like, that's like day one. All right. So I got food, I got bed. Okay, where's the vagina?
Primal instincts, primal needs. I mean, that's
I guess, but like when I go to a convention, like I manage the whole week, and I come home. I don't like these people. They've been there for like 2 days.
Yep.
They're like, well, I know I'm married,
up.
but I'm on Utopia right now. I mean, I guess no one's married there, but still. You know what I mean?
What do you think about a pregnant chick being there?
I thought that was so obvious, right? It was so, like, obviously staged, like everyone knew she was pregnant. Well, I mean, maybe not everyone knew, but the producers obviously knew she was pregnant, and you could tell she was pregnant. Like, the producers wanted her to be there because she was pregnant. I'm going to be really upset if they make a big deal about her leaving to get, childcare or birth or anything like that. Like, if it's all of a sudden like, what are we going to do as Utopians? Are we going to bring in a doctor and all this? It's
no, she's already got her midwife going to.
Yeah, I saw a midwife had showed up, but like, she's not going to give birth there. She said that in the first episode. She wasn't.
No, she when the midwife was there, the midwife looked around and said, "Oh no, I've seen."
I know. That's why I was confused. Great. Yeah, I was confused because Amanda definitely said, "I'm not giving birth here," but then the midwife was like, "Yeah, I give birth. Yeah, no, babies just fall right out. This is great."
So then, what's going to happen with this little baby in Utopia?
I think Amanda's just leading when it's baby time. Just out. That's what I gathered from the way she was talking about it. Like, I'm this is not where my baby's growing up. I'm just here until the baby's here. Is the vibe I got from her, but maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Oh, this show, man, I
think that there's so many flaws just in the concept of this show. There is no goal at all.
No, there's absolutely no goal. It's to set up their Utopia somehow mixed in there. Like that's all I get from this is like they just threw people there. The goal is for Fox to make money.
Right. Yes, exactly. That's what it is.
I think that's all
I was kind of hoping, I was hoping they'd run out of money and then it would get interesting. But now that they're just selling their celebrity status
and making like thousands of dollars a day by doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Like what what would have been a good show? Like not only would it have been interesting, but it wouldn't have seemed so staged. Is Fox could have had. Let's say one of them's a plumber, right? So we've got you a plumbing job. There's this company wants you to be a plumber for them, and so he makes money, and then he feels like, well, I've made this money. Should I share it with the group? And that like it would add a dynamic where like the group's out of money. The only job that's coming in for him is for a plumber. Plumber goes out, gets work, comes back with the money, and everyone's like, well, we're fucking hungry, and he's like, well, it's my money. Like, that would have been at least interesting, but instead, no, we're just all going to make money as a group because we're celebrities.
I want them to get rid of the narrator.
Yes! Why is this guy so weird and pedophile? Like, he scares me. He's going to do bad things.
I don't even understand what they were thinking when they were like, oh, somebody like you'd be perfect to narrate this horrible show that we have. Like, what was going through their minds? Like, I can't even, like, he freaks me out just like you. I'm like, this pedophile's gonna rape me at night when I watch the show.
So let me ask, when the first episode ended and this is Utopia, did you laugh? I laughed. Could not laugh.
I didn't laugh. I think my jaw dropped because I was like, this is the worst intro song or outro song or whatever song I've ever heard. And
I laugh every time.
Oh, I do have to admit,
brand new stuff.
Who is it that sings that song? It's some famous band that they commissioned to do it.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
oh god.
Now I have to look it up. I'm sure you're probably gonna find it before I did, but Utopia theme song.
It's Chris Daughtry.
There you go.
What?
There you go. Yeah. I'm sure he's making his money from that, but I mean, it's. I do have to admit, I think the show is better than it was at the 4 hours worth of season premiere. I didn't think I could continue watching it anymore after that because it was so bad, and now I can't. It's not good, but it's almost like I'm watching it at this point because I want to see when it fails. That's all I'm waiting for is.
Yep.
When's it going off the air? What's going to happen to the cast? Are they one day just going to come in and be like, shut her down, go home, everybody? Like,
Right.
we're finished.
Did you watch that show on Fox? It was another
Utopia?
film. Yeah, right.
Never heard
It was
of it.
like
I don't know.
Unanimous, I think is what it was called. And it was like everyone they could only leave if they could all unanimously agree to leave or something, and otherwise they were locked under. I don't remember exactly. Someone's probably going to correct this because I don't remember the exact premise, but it was really bad. And for some reason, I always think back on that when I see something like Utopia.
I don't know that. I don't know that
It was
show,
on Fox
but
too. So what do you think of Bella? Before we leave Utopia and go on to Survivor here, what do you think of Bella?
I think she is a nut job. I want her out of there as soon as possible. Not because I don't think some of her ideas I think are good, but the way she goes about it, she is a cancer in the group no matter what she does. She's so out there in her mind that I couldn't deal with her.
Yeah, yeah, I am the same way. Like,
I thought you were going to be like, man, I love that chick.
no,
She's
no,
amazing.
no. You know what I've realized watching this show is there's a lot of sexism in this show, like both on both directions, like from Bella especially, but Rob too. Like both, like Rob was I don't know. I
Rob's
wish
the
I
short
should have
dude,
wrote
right?
down what he said, but he said something like women aren't capable of making informed decisions or something. Like, it was just like so blatant, like whoa.
Oh, when
whoa.
they were talking about what government was going to happen and
Yeah,
going
yeah,
all
it was
run by
last
women. Yes,
episode.
yes, I do remember he said that. But it's okay. I mean, she's so smart. She wants a chicken tractor and demands a water filter and, you know, these crop circles that, like, UFOs can land in or something. Like,
I love when the farmer came out and she was like, or no, I think Rob was the one that asked. He was like, so we could just plant like in rows, right? Like we don't have to plant in like little spots. And the farmer was like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. She was like, no, chicken tractor.
Yep.
Remember he said chicken tractor was good.
Yep, chicken tractor was good. He said it. So let me go let all the chickens out randomly for absolutely no reason.
Right? For the $150 because the chicken is sick. Kill the chicken, eat the chicken.
And it was, she did, when she let those chickens out in one of the episodes, I thought it was funny because everybody was flipping out. And that's why I grew up with chickens. So I grew up on an area where we had lots of chickens. We had farm fresh eggs every day. Chickens run free. They'll go back to their pen at night. That's fine. You can let them do that. And everybody was like, oh my God, she let the chickens out.
I know, they were freaking out. It's eating cow shit. It's like, yeah, it's pretty high in fiber.
Yeah.
Let it eat the cow shit.
You go ahead and eat your cow shit eggs. Like, I won't touch that.
Right? Like it just, whatever you put in your mouth, it goes directly into an egg.
Yep.
Your baby is now pizza.
Yep. Your baby is now pizza. Oh. Anything else you want to say about Utopia for this week's installment?
No, it's one of those shows that it's like Big Brother where it's getting so many episodes a week. So I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about every week with this show.
I guess before we finish it, who do you think is going to get kicked out if it is the next episode that kicks somebody out? And who's your favorite? Who do you like the most?
I feel like if they're smart, they'll kick Red out because the man has basically said, I've left the group.
Again.
But I would like to see them kick Bella out. But I do think she adds something to the show that keeps it somewhat enjoyable from a viewer perspective. I couldn't live with her ass, but, you know, listening to her talk to herself, you're doing good, lady. You're doing good. Oh, thanks. I'm doing great. Yeah, you're doing, like, you're fucking crazy. But, yeah, I think logically they should probably just vote out Red because I think he wants to get voted. I think that's why he's made this a big deal. I think after he got to see his family and stuff, he's like,
he wants to leave without actually walking out.
Right. But I kind of feel like they'll vote out Bella. Like it's gonna just one of them two, right? Like there's no one else that's even kind of stands out. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Red. But at least that's what they lead you to believe based on the previews that they're showing as well. Yeah, but at the same time, I don't know how far in advance that thing is actually recorded and produced, as they say, because they might not be leading you anywhere because they have no idea at the time that those previews came out. I don't know.
Right.
Most shows I would be like they're leading you one way so they can take a left turn and go somewhere else, but I'm not sure with this one. How about your favorite? I'm a big fan of Hex. Not only is she from Detroit, I think she contributes a lot and is very like level-headed when she's not a drunken mess.
She's not falling
when she's not
down
at the hospital getting IV bags, like because she's allowed to go to the hospital.
I think my favorite was Mike, but then whenever Mike started sleeping with a polyamorous woman, I kind of lost a little bit of respect for him.
See, why would he be your favorite? Just out of curiosity, I find him kind of more
he's kind
boring and just kind of there.
Yeah, well, he is kind of. Maybe that's why I like him the most because he's not fucking crazy like some of them.
That's
So he's
true.
just kind of watching. He's kind of the observer. Like, man, look at these fucking loons.
It's like, I'm a lawyer. What the hell am I in this for
Well,
right
I
now?
think that maybe that's why I like him is because he's not like your. He doesn't seem like your typical lawyer, right? Like when I first saw him, I was like, oh, this boring guy. He's just straight edge. But then okay, so he slept with a polyamorous woman, and it made me lose respect for him because I lost that feeling of he's the smart one. But then at the same time, I gained a little bit of respect for him too, because it's like, okay, you appear to be the smart one, but you might be just as fucked up as the rest of them.
True. True.
Maybe I don't have a favorite actually. I like Amanda actually, the pregnant lady, because she seems the most level headed of all of them. I think
Right.
actually. And Aaron just seems all right too, the chef. But I expected more from him as a chef actually. So
I don't know. When he spent 500 and some odd dollars to celebrate somebody's birthday when they were down to like 2 grand, that was
yeah, that was pretty dumb. Or like
yeah.
buying brown rice over white rice, stuff like that. It's like, okay, yeah, I understand that it may, maybe it tastes better in your dish and it has some nutritional value, but you're poor, so
Right.
you should be eating fucking white rice.
Yeah.
Like,
But I
oh,
mean,
and I guess he's the one that bought the tequila and the frozen pizzas too. Actually, now that I
yeah.
think about it,
Yeah.
so he's kind of an idiot. They're all pretty much idiots.
I agree wholeheartedly. So keep or stay tuned as we continue to talk about this bunch of idiots as long as this show goes on. So switching gears over to Survivor, and I know we are both big Survivor fans, and I was pretty excited to know that it was starting up again. And I usually don't watch Survivor piece by piece as it comes out. I wait until the season's almost done so I can like binge watch them.
Do you not have anyone in your life that like spoils these type of things?
No, because none of my friends watch Survivor at all. They kind of think I'm crazy for watching it and thinking it's good. They're like, "Oh, I watched like the first season, and after that, I was done with that show." I'm just like, I think it's getting better and better every time.
I don't completely agree with that. I think it's like it's got this ebb and flow thing going on with it. Like I think the Blood versus Water edition last season was the first time they've reinvigorated the show in a long time. Like I didn't think Exile Island was that great of an idea, and I thought it ruined the flow of the show with the reward and immunity challenges to some degree. So for me, last season was the glimmer of hope that the show could still go another 10 seasons.
Was it?
With Blood versus Water?
Was
For
it,
me,
was it last season or was it 2 seasons ago that Blood versus Water was? The
no, it was
first
last.
one. Was it directly last season?
Yeah. They went from one right into the next.
So what do you think about the fact that this one is not returning players and the last one was? Did you like the fact that Blood versus Water the first time they did it was returning players with their loved ones or not?
It wasn't all returning players though.
No, it was the returning players and then
Oh,
their
right, it
loved
was,
ones.
and their loved ones. Yeah,
So
you're
it
right,
was like-
right. Um, I don't need them to be returning for me to be invested myself. I think that's what some people need though.
I usually don't like returning players, especially whole seasons filled with returning players. I
Yeah.
think for that first Blood versus Water, it was perfect because it introduced a new concept and was like, now you get these people that you love with the
Right.
people like that, their loved ones, and now they're doing a Blood versus Water that's all new players, and I think it's a perfect way that they transitioned
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah, okay. I was a little disappointed they were redoing Blood versus Water again. I thought maybe they saw the same thing as I did and that it was a glimmer of survivability for the show because it brought so many of the old school feelings back that they were just going to do it again right away.
Right.
But
So, what do you think about Day Zero?
I didn't need that. I didn't need that at all in my life. I didn't need that part of the show to exist.
I am with you on that. I thought it was kind of entertaining for a second to be like, oh, they get to spend one night on the island like with their family member, and then I was like, okay, 20 minutes of this in the episode, like I'm ready for the game to start. Like,
Yeah, pretty much. And then I think the more I watch Survivor, the more I get disappointed with how scripted some of it is. Like, so Day Zero ends, they all come together, and they're gonna pull buffs, randomly, right?
yes, random buffs.
And if you notice, everyone that got a blue buff was wearing a blue shirt. Everyone got an orange buff was wearing an orange
I
shirt.
didn't pay that much attention.
They had
to that.
orange fingernails,
No.
and it's like, yeah, that was so fucking random. Wow, it's so lucky you wore your blue shirt today before it matches your blue
Now
buff.
I have to watch that again. That's funny. So I do know Jeff Probst. I wrote this down because I was like, what? He said right when they started that, before they switched to teams, he said, It's blood versus water. Obviously, this means you're against your loved one. And I'm like, no, obviously, that does not mean that at all. It means the exact opposite of that. And if this is a back-to-back season, had they even seen blood versus water when they taped this one?
That's a good point. That's a good point. They may not have, right?
So they were like, blood versus water. Wait, we're against each other? Or so in the very first scene, I was certain that this was a Redemption Island season. Because they were at the Redemption Island arena when they all came together and
are they at the same set? That's
so
the thing.
I just looked it up, and it turns out they are at the same set as the last Redemption Island, which is because I was sure that they were secretly going to still pull Redemption Island in a couple days. Like the person they just voted out was going to come back in like 3 days after they vote somebody else out, and they were going to have this Redemption Island that nobody knew existed, which I guess is still a possibility because the arena's there, but it is on the same set as Redemption Island was.
So yeah, me and my wife were both like, this set seems really... I was like, did they do Blood vs. Water and keep the same location? I was like, I guess you'd save a lot of money if you did. But, yeah.
So this time, they luckily didn't send anybody directly to Exile or Redemption Island or whatever it was going to be. I was not a fan in the last Blood vs. Water that the very first thing was to vote on somebody you don't know and send them out to...
They did, though.
Yeah, I know they did. And no, they sent them to Redemption Island last time. That's why Rupert ended up going out.
Well, they did that this season, though. They sent the wife to Exile.
But they went to Exile. Last time they went to Redemption. It was like, you're out of the game, and you have to earn your way back in.
Right.
Which I am not a fan at all when they do stuff like that in the first day.
Yeah, it kind of... like, that person might as well not even have flown out, basically. You're just out.
I think I saw one season where they got off the their little boats or whatever, and they had them vote on who they want on their team, and the last two that didn't get picked, they put them back on the boat and sent them home, and that was it. And it was like, I remember one crazy singing chick and some other like 19-year-old kid or something like that, but I was like, I'd be angry if I made it to Survivor, and I was like, you didn't pick me, so I go home?
Yeah.
See you guys later.
Yeah.
But luckily, this season is not like that. So what are your thoughts so far on episode 1 of San Juan del Sur?
Well, a couple things stood out. After they'd picked, right before they picked their tribes, they were talking about their day zero. And Jeff targets the gay couple and says, did you guys start a fire? They said, yeah. And then he targets the rednecks and says, could you guys start fire? And you know that shit was set up. Like, it's the same as like, hey, little baby, can you walk? And then like, look at this adult. It was like, I don't know how to describe it, but it was like, it was so wrong to me that they was set up like that to ask, because it wasn't like he was just asking two people if they could start fire. There was a reason why he asked the specific social groups that you know what I'm saying?
Well, he's got to be getting information from the camera crew.
Yeah, I mean, he knew the answer to these. It was just like it was just a little fucking dig, you know, like the rednecks couldn't start fire.
Well, what do you think?
And then they acted like it was a big surprise that, you know, after they picked the first guy, he was going to be the challenger, and big super twist, the first twist of the season, you're going up against your wife.
It's like no shit.
Yeah, you see it coming a mile away. It's not a twist.
Yeah. What do you think about what Jeff said as he introduced Nadia and Natalie?
I don't even remember what he said. I was so afraid they were going to open their fucking mouths. I'm so sad that Nadia and Narnia or whatever, Natalie, Narnia, Nadia, I hate them. I wish they would go back to wherever they came from and never be on any reality show ever again. I've had to watch them 2 seasons on Amazing Race, and now they're in Survivor.
See, I'm
so glad.
I've actually never seen Amazing Race, but either way, he blew their cover by introducing them. He said, and it's Nadia and Natalie from The Amazing Race. They
that's kind of a big move, right?
But anyone
that's watched that show knows who they are.
Yeah, but at the same time, they have people like, they had the one chick from like the Partridge Family was on, and she kept that shit a secret for a long time.
Right.
And all of a sudden, he blows their cover day one, and he's like, hey, you guys are from Amazing Race. By the way, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, you know, type of deal.
That's kind of, didn't dawn on me because I knew that. So, but yeah, you're right. It's kind of like it's the baseball player, all the football players throughout history. It's like, and here's the baseball player. He's got a lot of money.
Yeah, it's like he could have called out John Rocker right there and been like, and this guy played for the Atlanta Braves, and it's man. So first challenge goes, pick somebody to send, or his wife, the guy's wife has to go, what is his name, John and Val? Is that who they are? Jeremy and Val. So Jeremy beats his wife, Val. She has to go to Exile Island. He has to pick somebody to go with her. So all of a sudden he gets this sad, like, oh my God, why did I win? My poor wife. Do you think he really thought that?
No. And he could have picked himself.
You know, that's exactly what I was thinking, except I think that would be the worst move in Survivor history.
Oh, yeah. It would be the same as the Rupert's move the previous season.
Yeah.
You know, where he said, I'll go instead.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I think Rupert did it for different reasons because he genuinely wants his wife to be able to partake in something that he's loved for so long. I think he kind of knew it might be the end for him. Whereas I think Jeremy wants to be there. And if he sent himself, the tribe would easily vote him out as quickly as they could. Like if they lost the challenge, he would definitely be the one going home, if that's how it played out.
Yeah.
So, but
the thing was, though, the guy he sent with her, he's like, you know, this guy, Keith, he probably could start fire everything. That was the guy that Jeff had asked.
Well, that's even what,
like, oh.
Yeah, that's even what Jeff called out. He's like, but he said he broke his flint. And he's like, oh no, that's his son's fault. It's like, why wouldn't you have picked the other gay dude who you know had like a great night and you know like is going to take care of her? And even if you're worried in any stretch of the imagination about it, he's not a threat to like trying to sleep with your wife either. I mean,
that's true.
There's
yeah.
so
and
many
you know
reasons.
he knows how to start fire.
Yep. So many reasons. Like, and he even called out the fact that he goes, yeah, if you're going to go to Survivor, you need to learn how to start fire. That's the guy you send. Like that. I thought that was a dumb move. And then, so they all go back to their camps. Jeremy wins flint for his tribe. So they have flint to make fire with. The other team doesn't.
Why did he not pop his glasses out of the frame?
Okay.
Like, why did he break his glasses in half?
So many questions I have about this. He uses his glasses. Great. He breaks them as opposed to trying a drop of water or something that's been done many other seasons of Survivor. While you have Baylor who sits in the corner and goes, Dale's trying to start a fire with his glasses. I've never seen anything like this before in my life. Have you never watched the fucking show?
What he said. Yeah, exactly. No, not only that, but after he decided to fucking break them in half, what he didn't need to do, he stacked them. Like, do you know how magnifying glass works? It's like this. It's not like this. Like, if he had just made two concave things, he would have. I mean, he got to the fire start either way, but he kind of was an idiot about it all.
I didn't know that putting them the other way would have actually like helped. I never thought about that before. But what I like
glasses, you know, like
I mean, I guess so. I guess it makes sense. But what I liked or didn't like about it, well, liked and didn't like, I don't know, his strategy's kind of sound. He knew he was on the bottom. He needed a way in, so he breaks his glasses and makes sure he makes a big enough spectacle so that people know what he did. But he slips up at Tribal Council because he says, they were my reading glasses.
Oh, shit, I missed that.
He says that at Tribal Council. He's like, so I took my reading glasses and I broke them in half for the tribe. And I'm like, those are your reading glasses? I'm going to bring a pair of those with me if I ever go on Survivor. Just keep up. These are my reading glasses. Might need them to use a fire. And people will love me. Like, it's... I thought it was a decent strategy that...
Yeah, But he could have not broke his glasses. But I guess since they're just his reading glasses, I missed that. So it doesn't really matter.
Just his reading glasses. They're not going to affect elimination unless they have a reading challenge. Speed reading challenge. Like, for immunity. He'll be like, damn it. Oops. Just knocked my microphone around. Oh, God. So you got Baylor and Missy. Baylor, the young chick on, God, what are the tribes even called? Coyopa and Hanapu?
I miss when they got to pick their own names for their tribes. What happened to that shit? Like, why is that gone?
I didn't realize they got to pick.
Oh, yeah. All through time, they used to pick their names. It used to be crazy shit. Like, one season, it was like...
I thought they always picked the merged tribe name.
Maybe you're right. But no, I thought there was multiple tribes picking names and stuff before. I don't know. I might be wrong about that one. I might be wrong. But I could have swore there was multiple tribes where they'd each pick their name. Because they'd get to their camp and they'd have to make a flag for their tribe too.
Right. Well, that's at the merge for sure. That usually happens at the merge.
There's been seasons where they did it right at the start.
I mean, there could be. I'm not as like refreshed in my memory on Survivors of the like original past. So they could be. Either way.
Yeah.
You got Baylor and Missy. Baylor's the young 20-year-old girl and her mom, 47-year-old. Spent divorced 3 times. She makes a quote. God, what did they say? I'm trying to even remember what she was talking. Oh, somebody was trying to sway her over to their alliance, and her response is, "From being married and divorced as many times as I have been, you have to go with your gut." Like, really?
What?
Maybe you should be going against your gut.
Right? You should not trust that anymore. It dispelled you.
So, I'm trying to even remember what the immunity challenge was. It was the 3 stair-step tower puzzle thing. The big triangular puzzle that, big comeback from behind victory for Hanapu. Did you see that happening? Like, did you think they were going to come back from behind? Did you think it was? I thought it was pretty even the whole way. One team got a little bit ahead.
I mean, they're a little ahead with the jump up the wall bit, but when it comes to the puzzle, you never know what the hell's going to happen. I've seen so many random shit happen with the puzzle type of challenges.
Like Chaos Cass a couple seasons ago, where she came back from it's like an hour behind and still won.
Yes. Yeah.
So tribal...
Who's your favorite?
I think I like Josh. Josh is the one of the guys in the gay couple. He's got more airtime this week because his tribe's the one that had to go to tribal council. So he obviously got more airtime, and they spoke to him more. So I didn't see as many of the people from the other side. But I think he's smart. He knows how to play this game. He's well liked by the women and by the men because he's one of the guys, and he's actually physically fit and able to hold up in the challenges. So the guys like him. The girls like him because he's a gay guy. He's got a lot of room.
Did you find that offensive whenever Natalie kept saying she was counting the people, and she was like, well, we have all these women, and she was counting the gay guy as one of the women?
Yeah, well, I know a lot of people who have what they call their gays. They have their group of gay friends. Like, DC is a very big, gay community around here. Some gay people like to be considered like that, or they make jokes about it themselves. He specifically, on the other hand, however, said he didn't, and that offends him, and she continued to do it. Then I found it offensive. It's kind of like he doesn't like it. He's let you know. You need to stop at this point. And I haven't watched the after interview with her, with Nadia, and she continued to do that even in the after interview.
Oh, I didn't even watch her after interview. Those people, they could just never speak, as far as I'm concerned. I hate her and her sister.
You were like, it's her, I'm done. I'm out.
Yep. Please make her go away.
So who's your...
I don't really have a favorite yet. I was sitting here trying to think. My wife found it really funny because when they were introducing, this isn't to answer the favorite question, but when I was just scrolling through looking at the people on the show, when they were introducing all the characters, whenever Alec and Drew, the brothers, were on the screen, I was like, and they they did their hair and everything. I was like, the fuck, are they models? And then later on they were models. My wife just thought that was hilarious because I was just like, these fucking pretty boys. I don't know.
They always have models and pretty people on this show.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, that's why I can't get on. I kind of want to watch Wes. Wes is the idiot kid that broke the flint.
Broke the flint.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be fun to watch, but I don't know. I don't really have a favorite. I always go like 5 or 6 episodes before I pick someone, because it's weird how, like, if you look back at old seasons. And you look at the first episode versus like halfway through the season, you really start to get a feel for their personalities more than you ever could, the first episode or so. Which I guess that makes sense, goes without saying.
Yeah, things completely change in this game so quickly that first episode usually means absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
just basically.
I'm glad they just got rid of Natalie.
Now it's Nadia that got.
Oh, I can't even keep track.
Well, they are twins, and I mean, but do you think that means so Nadia got voted out at the first, like, as a blindside to her? She had no idea people were gunning after her, and they did it for the concept that she's been on Amazing Race. What do you think about that strategy?
Well, I don't think that they're very smart people, so I don't think that I think they were voting her out because she's been on a reality show before, so she knows how reality shows work. I think the one guy was making the comment that he thought that she knows how to play the game better because she's been in situations like this before. I don't agree. I think if you've been on Survivor before, then you bring Survivor knowledge, but I don't think being on Amazing Race, I mean, I'm sure it doesn't hurt, but it's not the same game, it's not even close to the same game. So I think that was kind of a cop out.
So
I mean, I'm glad they did it.
ignoring your hatred for her. If you were on that tribe, would you have voted her out, or would you have voted somebody else out?
Yeah, good question. Really, they probably should have got rid of Dale, even though he broke his glasses. That would have made the most sense because he's probably going to bring the least to the table as far as physical attributes and challenges, right?
I mean, you would think so, but remember the season with like Yao Man?
Yeah,
Yao Man
yeah,
was the old guy who like rocked
right.
it. He was like, you
Yeah,
can never tell with these people.
that's true. It's
It's
true. I mean, she probably was the best pick. I mean, Wes is an idiot, so they could have got rid of Wes. I
yeah,
mean, was there
but
anyone else even on the table? Like, who were the
Val
women considering?
Val was on the table because nobody knew her because she was sitting on Exile Island for most of the time.
Right, right.
So
But the girls wanted to band together and get rid of a guy, right? That's what Nadia's.
they did, but that was the funniest part about that is that was Val's suggestion. She got back from Exile Island and was like the first thing was like, ladies, let's get together, let's form a girls alliance. I know nobody, but let's form a girls alliance. Which I don't know if that's a good strategy, bad strategy. She's still there. But she also made some comment about the fact that how it'll be the first time it's ever worked in Survivor history, and I'm like, no, I don't know where these people get off like quoting things about the show that aren't true.
It's like they don't remember that they're also being recorded when they say these things
Right.
too. So it's like you can't get away with that lie.
Yeah.
We all know.
Yeah, I'm trying to scroll through these people right now and even think of who, because it's so hard to tell. Because I think like my pick right now, if I were to have to go with somebody now, would be that Josh. But I think they're gonna see Josh as a threat later and get rid of him. It's so easy when you get to like that right in that middle area to get rid of
Yeah.
that person you think's gonna win. And I think he's gonna be one of the first to go because I think he's gonna be well liked and people are gonna see that. And unless he forms the strongest alliance with people who are just loyal.
Are we picking a winner right now? Like pick to win?
If you were to pick a win today, who would you think is going to win?
It's almost impossible, because we never know how the game is going to play out. Obviously, God, it's hard to say.
I can tell you who's not going to win. Nadia.
Yeah, right. I don't think I could say Natalie has no chance to win. If Natalie wins, that's it.
So, do you think that Nadia being gone puts a bigger or smaller target on Natalie's back?
Well, looking back at the previous Blood versus Water, you wanted people in that didn't have their loved one.
Right. They started to whittle down from there because they were trying to protect loved ones at first, and then it was kind of like that was all of a sudden too dangerous, so they wanted to keep people who didn't have loved ones anymore.
Right. So that could work in her. It really depends on the timing in the game, right? The longer people have to listen to her open her mouth, the quicker she's going to leave. I can promise that. And I've only had to watch edited segments of her on Amazing Race. So it's highly likely they're going to vote her out.
Goods has a very strong hatred for these two ladies.
They are the most annoying people. The only person that's ever been on Amazing Race that was more annoying, there was this deaf kid. And I know this is horrible, but he was deaf, and it was so fucking annoying. Not because he was deaf, but because he was like just a mama's boy, and everything in the world he just would whine to her about. And he couldn't talk. I mean, he could talk, but it was, whenever you can't hear yourself, so you sound a little bit different. And so everything came out kind of like a yell while he was whining. I'm digging a hole here. If anyone else has watched Amazing Race, they'll agree, though. The only people that were more annoying than Nadia and Natalie was deaf kid and mom.
So, Survivor, huge fan. You are, I know that. Have you ever seen Redneck Island?
No.
Have you ever heard of it?
No. I saw a Love Island show one time, which was really dumb.
Redneck Island is Survivor for rednecks, and it's hosted by Stone Cold Steve Austin. And if you haven't seen that, I suggest that you... It's on CMT, like the comedy or country music television.
What? Are they
It's
like in the
amazing.
bayou and shit?
No, they're on a beach. They actually give them a house and they all live together. Like, and they have to earn like most of the challenges that they do. Their reward challenges are all for like beer, kegs of beer, and steaks and burgers and things like that. But it's the same concept as voting people out, except that there's no jury at the end. It's just one last competition, and winner takes like there's only $100,000 prize. But if you watch that, these rednecks and these hicks have a smarter thought process for who they vote out than I've ever seen on Survivor. Like, it's the show, like the reason that they pick to do things and they start talking with their emotions and voting with their emotions more than anything else. Like, oh no, you know what? The last season wasn't Blood versus Water for Survivor. It was the one with like Tony, the cop, against the hell's his name? The guy with the long hair, Asian dude with the long hair.
Are you sure that was? Hold on.
No, but it sounds right. I'm pretty sure.
This was 29, right?
This is 29, yeah. What was it?
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
So I guess these people would know that Blood versus Water was versus each other.
Right.
That makes more sense. But and that one, the guy at I can't even remember his name. He gave up that game because he was like, no, I'm going to bring him with me to the final. And then he got all the votes. Well, you knew he was gonna. He was the fan favorite for sure. Everybody loved that guy, wanted him to win. And you gave up the game. Like, people start making these dumb decisions. I'm sorry. It is a game. If I was ever on Survivor, I would try to be loyal as much as I could, but I'm still progressing myself forward in this game. I am not going to do anything that's going to hurt my chances if I can avoid it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't, you watch people make these decisions in Survivor and it kind of blows your mind. Like, what? Who are you doing this for?
Right.
Like, do you have some kind of loyalty to this person that doesn't make sense to anyone else on a normal level? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it does kind of blow your mind. Like, why are you treating the situation like you are? It just doesn't make any sense.
So, Survivor, we're running a little bit late in the week. Survivor's tomorrow, after we're recording this, is the next episode. So this might be a little bit behind when people see it, but don't worry. Like, we'll get caught up. Anything else you want to say about the first season of Survivor?
No, I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a good season. I feel dumb thinking I thought that there was 2 Blood versus Waters back to back. I've been kind of bitched about that, and I was wrong.
I was trying to think, and I'm like, man, like I said, I don't watch them usually throughout the season. I watch them all at the end or something like that. So I sometimes realize I'm 2 seasons because they do it Survivor twice a year.
Yeah.
So I sometimes just get them mixed up because I haven't watched it in a while, and I watched 2 seasons like back to back, and I didn't know either, but.
I kind of wish I could go like 10 seasons without watching it and then just have them. Just
to binge watch.
Yeah.
It's fun, but it's time consuming. That's what I did because I didn't get into it until it was like season 15. So then for the next couple of months, I watched basically seasons 1 through 14. Getting caught up and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, if there's nothing else to say about Survivor and Utopia, stay tuned next time when hopefully we have Utopia still running or canceled. Either one will make
right? Who knows how long that'll be part of the show.
And some exciting things hopefully will happen on Survivor.
Bye, everybody.
See you guys. Bye.